Ooh, wasabi guys, coming back at you with some more Commander 2017 spoilers. Today we get a look at some cool Grixis wizards, so we do know in fact that is confirmed we are getting Grixis wizards. So let's start off here with the first one, which is Inala Archmage Ritualist, a 5 mana 4/5 human wizard in Grixis colors here with Eminence. Whenever another non-token wizard enters the battlefield under your control, if Inala Archmage Ritualist is in the command zone or on the battlefield, you may pay 1 mana. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that wizard. The token gains haste. Exile it at the beginning of the next end step. She also has an activated ability of tap 5 untapped wizards you control to have target player lose 7 life. Definitely what we've expected looking at the other 3 with Eminence, and it's also cool that she does allow you to take advantage of ETBs and attack triggers because she does also give the tokens haste. So you have a quicker, more aggressive build there, as well as the activated ability just synergizes well with a lot of those wizards, such as Azami, Patron Wizard. Anything that can tap and untap and synergize with that is very cool. I can definitely see some combos associated with Paradox Engine, and a cool card design. Next we have another vampire here. We have Kuro Mind Eater, a 3 mana in black, 1/3 vampire with menace. Whenever Kuro Mind Eater deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles a card from his or her hand face down, and you may look at and play cards exiled with Kuro Mind Eater, so it is more specific. You have to be able to pay the mana there in order to play the card, so you have to have the mana fixing. So you're most likely going to be attacking someone who's within your colors. Very interesting card here. Definitely think it's going to see some play in vampires. Then we have a 7 mana blue giant wizard here, 5/6 Galecaster Colossus. Has an activated ability here of tap an untapped wizard you control to return target non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand. Very cool, and yet again synergizes with tapping and untapping. So Paradox Engine and this card are going to be best friends, and I can definitely see this being a part of a cool tap untap synergy wizard deck with Azami, Lady of Scrolls. Very interesting, and I like it. Next we have a 7 mana black sorcery, Dominance of Kindred, but it's probably going to be Kindred Dominance. Choose a creature type, destroy all creatures that are not the chosen type. Not unusual to have this type of effect in black. It is more expensive, but the reason why is because it does allow you to keep a lot of your creatures that you control. So the fact that this works for tribal decks such as vampires and wizards, it's very interesting. It could also be used in the 5-color dragon deck as well. Then next we have Kindred Boon, a 4 mana white enchantment with when Kindred Boon enters the battlefield, choose a creature type, and has an activated ability of 1 mana and 1 white to put a divinity counter on target creature you control with the chosen type. All creatures you control with a divinity counter become indestructible. Now, an interesting little synergy here is with the Mage, because I believe they were the only other cards that have divinity counters, if I'm remembering correctly. So being able to take advantage of that synergy there is incredible. They all had abilities where you removed the divinity counter and they did something pretty good, and you only got the divinity counter if you cast it from your hand. So playing it as a legendary creature and then having something else in a deck that could put a divinity counter on it, or the white Mage, because that's the legendary one that you could put Kindred Boon in. Very interesting synergy right there. But even ignoring that, having something that can put divinity counters on creatures, making them indestructible, is very cool and is most likely going to mesh very well in tribal decks playing white. Next we have Apprentice Necromancer, a 2 mana in black, a 1/1 zombie wizard with an activated ability of pay a black and tap it to sacrifice Apprentice Necromancer to return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. That creature gains haste at the beginning of the next end step, sacrifice it. Not unusual to see creatures that sacrifice to give you creatures back from your graveyard in black. We've seen a lot of these before. There's a ton of creatures in black that deal in recursion, and it's a black ability overall, so not unusual. Then we get another Grixis wizard here. Marcel the Pretender, a 4 mana Grixis 4/4 legendary human wizard with when Marcel the Pretender enters the battlefield, you may exile an artifact or creature card from your hand or graveyard and put a cage counter on it. Marcel the Pretender has all activated abilities of all cards you own in exile with cage counters on them. You may activate each of those abilities only once each turn. Holy cow, is this incredible. I love the unique design here, and I think it's definitely going to capture the attention of a ton of Commander players. Having some unique ability like this that demands a specific build around, this allows you to synergize with cool artifacts and cool creatures that aren't necessarily wizards. So thinking outside of the box here, a legendary creature that doesn't necessarily synergize with wizards, but it is a wizard, more or less, though it does synergize with awesome cards with awesome activated abilities, so it's definitely going to see play as a commander, and it might actually be one of the most powerful commanders we've seen so far. Definitely an interesting option though. Then we have Vindictive Lich here, a 4-mana zombie wizard, a 4/1. When Vindictive Lich dies, choose one or more. Each mode must target a different player. The first one is target opponent sacrifices a creature, second one is target opponent discards 2 cards, and the third one is target opponent loses 5 life. Cool that we see another zombie wizard here. It does synergize with both tribes. I think it's more or less just a deterrent for people just attacking you, so you could throw this into any sort of pillow fort deck or any sort of control deck, and it's going to work just fine. Either that, or if you have some sort of heavy recursion deck in zombies, I could definitely see it working that way. Then we get another Grixis wizard here, but this time it's Marchesa. We do get a reprint. It makes sense. Sort of takes you in yet another direction with wizards, and it's more combat focused, based around the throne. So definitely interesting there that we can go that route. But I am a little disappointed that it is a reprint. Next we have Gate Mage, a 3-mana blue human wizard, a 2/2 with flash. When Gate Mage enters the battlefield during the declare attacker step, you may reselect the player or planeswalker that the target attacking creature attacks. I love combat tricks, and I love being able to surprise your opponents and take them off guard. And I like looking at other players and saying, hey, I'm not the one getting screwed over here. You are. So very cool. I like it. And then the last one we have here is Magus of the Mind, a 6-mana blue wizard here, a 4/5 with an activated ability of you can pay a blue and tap it to sacrifice Magus of the Mind. Shuffle your library, then exile the top X cards, where X is 1 plus the number of spells you've cast this turn. Until end of turn, you may play cards exiled this way without paying their mana costs. So this is very interesting because all of the Magus cards have usually been based around some sort of iconic card, and in this case it is Mind's Desire. But the cool thing about it was that that was Storm, and this obviously doesn't have Storm on it, but it has the whole text here where X is 1 plus the number of spells cast this turn, so that's their way of getting around. It's not actually a Storm card itself, but it does kind of include Storm that way, so it's very interesting, but I don't think it's going to see play over Mind's Desire, but it's an interesting include in Wizards nevertheless. So anyway guys, that's going to do it for today's spoilers. Let me know what you think of these. I definitely love Wizard Tribal, and I love Grixis Wizards now. Stay tuned for more spoilers. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I do a lot of other cool videos you might like. Anyway, you guys have a wonderful day. Void here signing off.